What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premsy TV. We got a special guest in the building today, BBC bargain hunt expert, massive Arsenal fan, Tim Weeks. How you doing, Tim? Are you good?
Am I good? You know I'm good at the minute.
You know what?
Everything's good.
I can see the smile on the face, bro. And you know what? This is what I'm trying to say. Let's enjoy it while it's lasting. But everybody met Tim last season. I think it must have been Aston Villa at home, but we hit it off straight away. Massive Arsenal fan, BBC Wiltshire presenter as well. So let's have his opinion, Tim. So talk to me. What's your stance on Arsenal Football Club right now? Are you as happy as everyone?
I was listening to you yesterday and you said that you're getting gassed and you almost had to calm yourself down a little bit. That's exactly where I am as well. Like, my son's the same, my dad's the same, all my mates, all my Gooner mates, we're just buzzing. And I keep saying to you earlier, it's like a honeymoon period, but I don't want it to be that because I don't want it to end, Premsy. I want it to go on and on and on. And I know it's going to end at some point, but what won't end, which is the biggest factor for me in certainly this season and even towards the end of last season, is it feels like the Arsenal community again is like as one, and we're all with the team. The team love us, and it's so obvious that they love the fans again. The fans have been amazing. We've seen the Saliba reaction to the own goal, the reaction to Gabriel's mistake on the weekend. It's like we're one again. So even if we slip up to Villa or United put on one of the United at home to Arsenal performances that they've done for the last 25 years, I still feel like there's still the good feeling. There's the warmth at Arsenal Football Club again, which for me is the first time in years. So I love it.
Did you get to the last game? Did you get to?
Yeah, I was there on Saturday. Yeah.
What do you think of the pre-match energy? Because that's something I touched on in the video, and oh my god, I ain't seen it like this in absolute donkeys. And you can see it's rubbing off on the players as well, Tim. You know what I mean? What's your perception of it?
Well, that sums us up as a football club at the minute, and it's almost like the fans are driving it along with Arteta and the team. And that, like, my son comes with these 11. He now wants to wait in the concourse to film all the fans and sing and jump around with the fans as much as he wants to go and watch the players warm up. Because we're pretty good at we'll get in quite early. I don't drink, so I always go and sit and watch the players warm up. But now I want to wait and kind of hang out with the fans and have a sing song. And we know the Saliba song is the best song in the Premier League. It's the best song in world football right now. So the atmosphere is it's from minute one and then all the way to the tube after. I mean, I've got videos that I'll show mates today on my phone. Everyone it's non-stop party at the moment. It's phenomenal. I can't wait for tomorrow night.
What's your take on the critics? Because there's a lot of people around at the moment cussing Arsenal fans for celebrating, cussing the players for celebrating. But at the moment, I'm just saying enjoy it because we've been in pain for 18 years. You get me? This ain't going to go away quickly. So the moments that we're going to get to enjoy, let's enjoy it because it's the start of the season. We've had 4 wins on the bounce. Nothing's gone wrong yet in the sense of results. So why not enjoy it? Why not be positive? When shit starts going wrong and it starts to look like it's going to capitulate, then have your opinion on it and say what you need to say in it. But for me right now, if we could go into this Villa game and make it 5 in a row, that is some achievement. We've not done something like that for a very long time. And the last time we're doing stuff like that, we're competing for league titles.
Exactly.
Now, I don't think we're going to be doing that this season. I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself at all.
Yeah. But we know that. But I'm with you. Let's enjoy it. We've waited for ages to have a run like this. And the fact it's at the start of the season and we're top of the league. This is why we do it. This is all the pain that we've gone through, all the hurt, the frustration of following Arsenal and loving Arsenal for the last 10 years. This is the moment we've been waiting for. So forget Richard Keys and all that rubbish. This is the most passionate sport in the world. We love our team. We're 4 on the bounce. We're ready for the next one tomorrow night. And I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm telling you now, we have to win this next game because we just touched on earlier on, United, these always have a way of beating us, especially when shit don't even look too great at their club. It always happens, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this game is going to be a massive, massive pressure because Steven Gerrard, he's under the cosh at the moment because he ain't really won anything. He's had big investment in the squad and his position's quite questionable right about now. Do you reckon Aston Villa are going to cause us them problems? Or do you reckon we'll walk over them? Because I feel like we should be battering teams like Villa.
Villa need a result, and Gerrard needs a result, like you said. Totally right. And I it's like you look on paper at the two teams, the confidence that we're all feeling, the confidence running through that Arsenal team. I'm expecting a couple of bits of rotation, a bit of changes. You know, we got a lot of games coming up. We got a big game away at United, obviously, as you mentioned. But how I keep saying to my dad is the ultimate pessimist when it comes to Arsenal. He's always worried. We're always going to struggle. It's always going to go wrong. But I keep saying to him, if you're not confident at Arsenal right now, you're never going to be confident. And when you're going home to Villa, who are clearly struggling, low on confidence, we are flying. Look, I know there's going to be 60,000 goodness. We can't wait to get to the Emirates tomorrow. We can't wait.
It's a real different feel factor right now, isn't there?
Of course.
It's the moment I'm scared of, though, is the moment we do lose, because obviously it's a long season. We're not going to win every game. The moment we do lose, I want to see what the reaction is from the boys at that point, because then that will give me a real indication of where the development of the team's gone. Because say we lose and we lose a 2-1 or a 3-1 or something like that against United, and then we could bounce back straight away, put another couple runs together, games together, then you can start looking at it thinking, right, they have got real character. It's not just a little one-off period, because at times last season we did go on an unbeaten run, win games and stuff like that, win games that people didn't think we would win. So obviously these little bumps in the road, for example, going down at Fulham, coming back, it does show the character, and it does show why everyone should keep the heads up, because it, like I said, it only generates that support for the players on the pitch, and they're loving it right now. Saliba, he's not signed his contract just yet. And if the fans can continue showing him this support and love, why is he not going to sign for us? You know what I mean? Because we're heading in the right direction. I just want to move on to the injury news on Mohamed El Neni, because this is going to cause some real stir now, because there's a few things that could come off this. Either we can promote Lokonga into that position and see if he can fit the mold and progress, or it forces the hand of Edu, Arteta to go in the transfer market and go and start buying players. Where do you stand on it?
Joe, I'm a mild Mo fan, because I think Mo gets quite a bit of stick, but I think he's a good backup. I wouldn't want him playing every week, but I don't mind him as my backup. Now, Partey, it seems to me that when Partey plays, Arsenal play. He don't play every week, and he gets injured way too much, which makes me think we've got to get some cover for him. We've got to get some cover. It feels like we will. It's been rumoured for months now that we're going to. But the problem, I think, with covering Partey is if you're going to cover someone that's better than Mo, they ain't going to be happy being on the bench as cover. They're going to want to be starting for football teams. So I don't think we could do any better than Mo as someone who's going to be, he's happy. He loves Arsenal. He loves being part of the squad, and he sits on the bench for 8 games and then he comes in and fills in for 2. Obviously, as a supporter, we don't see the money. So buy someone for us. I just don't think it's going to be as easy to get a good backup.
Here we go. James saying El Neni. Do you know what? He just does the job, doesn't he? He's nothing fantastic. He's nothing special. But we do need to improve in that midfield area. Just what you're saying on Thomas Partey, I agree with what you, to a certain extent, with get a player not wanting to just sit on the bench, because many top players ain't going to want to do that. But we got to sell it to them as, look, Thomas Partey, he's getting onto the back end of his career now. He's not fit all the time. So there's going to be ample opportunities for a player to come into that position and kind of make it his own, because Thomas Partey's career at Arsenal, for me, is a little bit questionable, because I feel like he's a good talent. He's good, but he just hasn't really hit the ground running. And the amount of injuries he's getting, he's not getting that sustainable game time. And could we bring someone in who will be better suited at the role, give us that more, what should I say, less injury-prone player, and give us that more game time? Because I feel like maybe somebody like a Neves from, say,
he's the answer.
Wolves can come in. And him and Xhaka can maybe shore that position up, to be honest, and they can rotate between all 3 of them in my position. But
Neves would be the answer for me, and because we were linked with him last year, in January, and nothing came off, and I thought, that's the answer. But if Partey's fit, I would still be playing Partey ahead of him. I think he's so important to Arsenal. He knows the system. He knows the way we play. And I still think if Partey's one of the best players on the pitch, Arsenal win football matches. I think he's that important to us. But the injury that's the question mark with him, and it's been constant. And like you say, it's almost at times he's been underwhelming overall. There was a period, a year after he'd signed for Arsenal, I was texting my Gooner mates feeling like he's one of the most disappointing signings in our history. Because when we signed him, he was the answer, wasn't he? He was a massive signing for us. It's the signing we've been waiting for since Patrick Vieira had moved on. And it never started clicking. But I feel the last 12 months, we're starting to see those moments. But if we're not going to get Neves, who are we getting that's better?
But do you not think that we need somebody who's going to be more reliable, even if that means them maybe not being as good as Thomas Partey in certain aspects? Because there is players out there, I believe, that like even a Wilfred Ndidi, he's had Premier League experience. He's kind of fits the mold of a Thomas Partey. I like Frank Kessie, to be honest, from Barcelona. With all the trouble that they're in financially, maybe you could put a cheeky bid in, even though he's only gone there. So there is players out there. There's been talks of Sandro Tonali as well. From Milan.
Who I like.
He's young.
I like him a lot. Yeah.
Do you reckon
he had a great season last season? He was quality. The only thing is there's such a jump from Serie A to the Premier League to be coming in, no pre-season. It feels if we start signing a centre midfielder now because we've got nervous that Partey and Mo's got injured, it feels a little bit desperate. A little bit desperate, which we know now that Edu is not going to do. He doesn't like to make desperate signings. And by the way, I don't see Sambi being as Epic Throne saying.
Yeah.
I don't see it with Sambi. I want to believe it, but
maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah, but for me, he needs a year on loan somewhere where he plays 38 games.
100%. 100%. But you know what? Yeah, if we go back onto just Thomas Partey's situation right about now, look. I say even before he's got injured for 4 to 5 weeks, before El Nene's been injured, I feel like we massively needed a midfielder anyway, and also another option up front, either a striker to give us that different kind of option. If a Jesus and Eddie ain't really cutting it because they're similar kind of players, give us that option. And whether this is forced the hand, it shouldn't really force the hand because over years we've only been 1-2 players away from seeing a team really connect and gel. Now, our first 11, they're quite good in it. So we're confident within the first 11. There's a few areas that have been added to in the sense of squad depth, like Tomiyasu, Zinchenko's come in. We brought in Jesus as well up front. So there is still places that need to be rectified, i.e. a winger, I'd say another centre-back to upgrade on Rob Holding, another midfielder, potentially 2 midfielders to me as well, because Fabio Vieira, I feel like he's going to be playing a lot more progressive than any kind of number 8 or any centre number 6. So if both of them are injured, Partey and Xhaka, sad times.
Yeah. We got problems. But going back on what you just mentioned, you mentioned a striker, because no one's ever mentioning a striker. It's all midfielders and wingers. My number 1 would be another striker. If I could pick any position at Arsenal, I'd live with the midfield, because at least we've got a lot of people that feel us. I'm a big Smith Rowe fan. I think Saka's capable of moving across the midfield. I need another striker. We're a Jesus injury away from its last season again, in my opinion. I'm worried. I like Eddie as like a second and a half, like a second, third striker. I don't know if we can rely on him. If Jesus goes out injured for 10 games, I worry about Eddie.
Do you know what? Epic Throne here talks about Ivan Toney, and you know what? Yeah, he's a player that I would take in a heartbeat at Arsenal.
Yeah, I would.
Because I feel like he would give us that different option to what Jesus offers us. And that's something key. What people seem to forget as well. We let Aubameyang go and Lacazette go. Now, there's still place in that team for another striker. There's going to be places in the Europa League we'll end up going. It's going to be tight. We're going to need to throw that extra striker on. We might got Eddie to throw on, but he's offering the same kind of thing as Jesus. If we could throw another striker on like a Tony with a Jesus, then we might be able to see a plan B from Arsenal, because a critic of Arsenal over many years is there's only got one style of play. They haven't got a plan B. They don't know how to change games. And I got to give Arteta credit. During that Fulham game, he tactically changed the game, which actually affected it. 3 at the back. Eddie came on. And Eddie, for me, he actually changed the whole intensity of that game. And if it wasn't for his substitution, I don't think we would have got over the line. Do you reckon fans are being unfair to Eddie and not giving him a fair crack?
Maybe. I mean, he came on last season when he had that run at the end of last season. I don't think you could fault him. And when he's come on for his cameos this year, again, I don't think you can fault what he's doing.
Mm.
You get a feeling, don't you, for a player? And my question with Eddie would be, I'm not saying no, but I don't know. I definitely see him as a frontline top 4 Premier League striker. I don't know if he's definitely there yet. And he could turn around and say, hey, well, I've never been given a chance. I get 5 games here and 10 minutes there. And every time he comes on, he knows how to impact the game. But I'm not convinced. And that's just my opinion. I'm not convinced that if Jesus gets injured and he's out for 10 games, if he goes and Brazil go all the way to the World Cup final, which there's a strong possibility, and he's coming back and needs extra time. I mean, Eddie number 1, who's our number 2? And that to me makes me more nervous than losing Shaka, having to lose Shaka, Partey, and El Nene. And then if the worst comes to the worst, we got plenty of other midfielders that can fill in holes for a game or 2.
And you know what the craziest thing is as well, is this season we can't even afford to have less strikers because we're in Europe as well.
No,
so
exactly.
it is a bit baffling in the situation. But maybe he's thinking I can throw a Martinelli up front, which will bring in room for a Smith Rowe on the left or somebody like that. But now with both Partey and El Neni out, what do you reckon, or what do you think's the best option to go into the game against Villa? Because there's talks of Zinchenko dropping in that hole. There's talks of Ben White dropping in that hole and Tomiyasu coming right back. There's talks of Lokonga. Who do you think's best suited for it?
If it were me, I'd be putting Zinchenko in midfield. Because for me, everything I've seen about him, I loved him at Man City. I loved his game. But everything we've seen so far, he just looks like a total footballer that could just play anywhere on the pitch. So for me, I'd put Zinchenko. It's different question if you're asking me this at Old Trafford. It might be different to go with Zinchenko. But we're home to Villa. We're going to have a good squad, a good team out. We should be able to cope with losing a couple of centre midfielders, I think. We're only losing one position. So I would put Zinchenko in there.
Do you not think, though, if we don't play a Lokonga in a game like this against Villa, that's going to kill his confidence? Because he's going to be sitting there looking and thinking, whoa, what do I have to do to get a chance in this team? Everybody that's in the position's out, and yet they're bringing in a left-back in midfield over me. And to be fair, there's been glowing reports of Lokonga from numerous players, Vincent Kompany. He's got a high ceiling, supposed to loads. And do you reckon that could just finish him off? Because if I was a player on the bench, bro, I'd be gutted if that was me. Because in pre-season, he played well. He came on, scored his goal. He didn't really put a foot wrong. Do you not think we should just put Zinchenko to left back, put KT on the bench, bring him on? No. Don't do it.
No, I want 3 points. As you said earlier, we've got to win this game. Sambi, I don't dislike Sambi. I just haven't seen anything yet that tells me he's ready. And I just feel like he's got the attributes. He needs a year in Serie A. He needs to go and play at AC Milan for a year, have 38 games with them, play week in, week out. It's a Saliba situation. Go and play some football and come back to us when he's a bit more strong, a bit more ready for it. The Premier League is so intense, man. I mean, I just don't quite think that's a big jump, Belgian league, coming over to centre midfield for Arsenal. I just don't think he's there. I want to win. I want 3 points tomorrow night. I want to be driving.
You know what? I agree. I totally agree with you. I just want to put a case forward for him because
you're right. You don't want to damage the kid's confidence.
Yes, but you don't want to kill him off 2 sets. Like even if we are winning, maybe give him a little opportunity, bring a few players on. Emil Smith. Smith Rowe should be back for this game, I think, shouldn't he?
I'm desperate to see. I'm a massive Smith Rowe fan. He's the one I have on the back of my shirt. I'm desperate to see him on the pitch.
Do you know what? He's not had much game time this season. And to be fair, he's one to watch out for because he's going to have the real bit between his teeth because players like Jesus coming in the team, he hasn't really had that much opportunity to shine with players like that. So for me, I think in midfield, I would go with Zinchenko as well. I'll keep KT left back because we do need the 3 points. If worst comes to worst and KT starts tiring, push Zinchenko out on the left and bring in a Lokonga if we got 20 minutes left to go to shore it up. Because the one thing about him, he is actually quite good in the air and aerially.
He has great shape. He holds his shape beautifully. He's very reliable. I just don't see enough of him on the ball. How he impacts the game. That's what worries me with Sandy.
Right. So there's one player, Tim, that I want to speak about. And I've criticised him a little bit at the start of the season because personally, I believe he's a top class player and I just want to see more from him. And that's Martin Odegaard. And over the last 2 games, he's pulled his finger out. He's let his shots go. and he's actually scored. You get me? And he's
Yeah,
been looking like the captain's armband that he's got. He's relishing the opportunity. Do you think that armband decision that he's got, do you reckon it's making him a different player to what he was last season?
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny you said Odegaard, because if we spoke in pre-season about what are my thoughts of the upcoming season, I'd say my biggest question mark is Martin Odegaard, because he's clearly got it all. He has games where he looks utter world class, like he looks De Bruyne level to me, who I think is the best midfielder in the Premier League, if not Europe. And my question mark with Odegaard has always been, I want to see it in a big game. He went missing away at Spurs. He went missing away at Newcastle. He's brilliant at home to Leicester, and he's brilliant at home to Fulham. I just want to see it in a big game. He's clearly, I mean, he was world class. World class. He took the game by the scruff of the neck. He won us that game on Saturday. And yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he's clearly captain of Norway. He's the type of professional as a fan you want at your club. He's the type of human being, the type of man, leader you want at your club. Arteta clearly loves him. He's like a manager on the pitch. You see him talking to the other players, both during the game and whenever there's any stoppages. So I love the guy. I'm just desperate for it to flick a switch. There to be a game. I remember with Pires, there was that game away at Anfield, and I always liked Pires, but his first season it was good, but not great. And then he had that away at Anfield where he curled that goal in from 30 yards, and he never stopped from there. I just feel Odegaard needs one of those games where it just goes click, and I'd love it to be at Old Trafford on Saturday, where he makes 2, scores 1, 3 bloody
I just thought I'd bring this up, Tim, because world class, when you're comparing him to KDB, you gotta hold it down a little bit.
That performance, and I've been really harsh on Odegaard. Harsh might be too strong, but I know he's got it, but I've questioned him all season. I've questioned him pre-season. I questioned him last season. He was world class on Saturday. That was
you know what he did. That was the definition of grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck.
It was Cesc Fabregas. It was Cesc Fabregas leading that young Arsenal team we had. It was the most Cesc performance I've ever seen since Cesc.
Do you know what? You can see as well. I think when he came to the club at first, I don't think the connection he had with the fans was as great as the other players that was there as well. And you can see now that is starting to develop now. Fans are starting to love him. He's starting to get a lot closer to the fans. But I still think there's a lot of work for him to do, because he's got to show us this level of consistency throughout the whole season. Carry on getting goals from midfield and also creating assists, impacting games, because he's been knocking around the world football scene for a very long time now. Since the age of 16, Real Madrid move. And I don't think he feels settled or loved at a club. And now he's come here to Arsenal. He's been here a few years, he's on loan, signed him now. I feel like he's starting to find his feet. And if that can help him progress to that next level, then happy days for us. We've got another player in Fabio Vieira that can challenge him for that position. For me, Smith Rowe's more of a 10 than he is a winger. So if I would have personally have them two challenging it out for the 10 role, but then I don't see where that puts Fabio Vieira into this team, because we've not actually seen him play or see where Arteta wants to fit him into the squad. So when it comes to midfielders, just imagine you see Fabio Vieira there tomorrow. Would you be surprised?
I would be surprised. Obviously this is...
That'd be mad, that first game back in that position.
I'd love to see him. Wouldn't it be lovely to be 3-0 up at half time and to give him a good half an hour in the second half? I would love to have give him a good 30 minutes and see him. But with regards to the amount of midfielders, we've got 9 games in October. It's going to sort itself out. Someone's going to get injured. There's going to be squad rotation. This is going to be a crazy season. We're going to need all these players. They're all going to play so many games. It's just going to sort itself out.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think Arsenal have a tendency to buy on the last day, to buy on transfer deadline day. That's something we've done for years and years and years. So for me, us buying players early in the transfer window was a massive shock. Now it has died off a little bit. So now when people are saying players are injured and the media is going to say Arsenal are panic buying, I don't think that we will be panic buying. I believe that if we are to get 1-2 players through the door, that was always the plan, because transfer deadline day, they always want to be a talking point, Arsenal. I'm telling you now for a fact, great PR, get the players in through the door on the last day. It gives everyone that little bit more of a lift.
Yeah.
Give me 2 players, realistically, Tim, that you can see us potentially signing. We've got 2 days left. Bear that in mind.
I'd like Tielemans.
Right.
I'm a big Tielemans fan. I like it that he's Premier League proven, that he could just slot straight in. When we were linked with him, and we messaged each other, when we were linked with him, I was so chuffed because, you know, when you watch other, you know, it's Super Sunday on Sky, you just sit, watching Newcastle versus Leicester. I would always watch Tielemans and go, God, that boy's too good for them. Why have we not picked up that boy? So when we were linked with him, I was like, I can't believe this is Christmas. This is Christmas if we're getting him. So I would love to have him. That to me, because the striker just feels unrealistic. And I'd love Tony. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Is it? Brentford ain't going to sell on at the end of the window. But I would love another striker. But I don't see it happening. And I don't really know who's out there realistically that comes in and makes the difference in the next 2 days. They just it seems too quiet for me. That's all I can live with the situation that we've got in our squad. If we could chuck Tielemans in as another body, because I think he's an intelligent footballer. I do want more numbers though.
I feel like Tielemans will add that squad depth that we need. Will also give us that upgrade in progressive attacking football, because last season, one thing that we didn't do was score goals. And the problem was the progressiveness from midfield to attack. So I'm with you on that one. Tielemans, I'll take. The person I would really want is a Neves, but can you see them splashing 60 mil last day?
I feel that's gone. I feel that's gone. And I feel that's gone. I mean, he would be a dream to have him. He's got some fire. He's a bit of a shithouse. And I don't want that in my team. I like him that he gives it a bit of that. You know, he does his interviews, he's real. I want that as a fan. So I'd like him. It feels like it's too quiet on that front, isn't it? It's too quiet. It feels like we've gone down the pecking order on it.
Big up Justin Franco with the super chat. He says, big up Premsy, we need a CDM and they have to buy. And you know what, bro? I 100% agree with you. I think we need 2 centre midfielders, 1 centre defensive mid to cover for Partey, and another one to either be better than Xhaka or cover for him if they ain't looking to splash the cash. But you let us know in the comments as well who you would want to sign. But yeah, Tim, before we wrap it up shortly, I just want to get your prediction on the game. I want to also get an in-depth prediction as well. I want to know goal scorers. I want any precise moments you think might happen. Red cards, Granit Xhaka, first of the season. Talk to me. What do you think?
Right, well, before I do this, let me tell you, my predictions in the car driving to games with my son have been so good. I told him that Gabriel would score on the weekend. I've been saying that Jesus is going to score 2 goals today against Leicester.
Let me get a pen. Give me the lottery numbers then, yeah?
I know. I'm keeping them for myself. So I'm going to get this wrong because everybody else is listening now. But you've got to feel confident. I still feel there's going to be bumps along the way. I'm going to go 2-0 tomorrow night. 2 clear goals. A goal in each half. And I'm going to go with Jesus. I'm going to give him 1 because he just looks on fire. Yeah. And then I think it's time for Saka to get on the score sheet and start to kick his season off on the goals. So I'm going to go Jesus and Saka 2-0.
2-0. You know what? I'm going to go with 2-0 as well. I predicted it on my preview. I just hoping and praying Jesus can score both because I got him in my fantasy football team and I forgot to captain Haaland instead. And last week as well. You know what? Yeah, every single week I keep messing it up and players that I take out keep scoring, playing my wild cards and all that too early. Yeah. But you know what? Yeah, I feel like it's going to be 2-0. I hope Jesus scores both goals just for the fantasy football thing. If Saka gets it, I won't mind because he needs a little boost. But we need to carry on with the momentum because going into United, it's a must win. And just before we do wrap it up, answer this question for me. What's a good season for you?
A good season is what I would say a very comfortable top 4. So I don't want none of this last week of the season. I want to be, there's 4 or 5 games to go and we know that Champions League is either guaranteed or as good as guaranteed. Right. I do not want Spurs winning the league. That is also, if no good as finishing second and then winning the league, no, mate, I'm hibernating if that happens. And I want a good cup run, whether it's the Europa or the FA Cup. And when I say good run, I want to win a cup. I feel like this team, we need to win something, get that taste in our mouths of winning some silverware. So if we can, a strong, comfortable third place would be great. Third, fourth place, but comfortable, and give us a cup. Don't care which one. Don't care.
Same here. I feel the exact same. I feel like we need to definitely cement fourth spot. And when I mean fourth spot, I don't mean hanging on fourth.
No, none of that.
I mean comfortable in the Champions League places, knowing that our team has a chance to go in the Champions League next season and not get absolutely spanked. Yeah. And then for me, we have to win this Europa League because I'm sick and tired of being in this competition and not winning it is absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah, I'd love to win it just to tick it off our club history to have the Europa League, but I don't feel like we're going to win it. I feel like we're going to use it.
Oh, don't say that,
because I think it's going to be where we're squad rotating in it. I just feel like it's.
You know what? I feel like Arteta, in order to get his name spoke about worldwide on that scene, he has to try to really do something significant in Europe. And I think if he was to win the Europa League at such a young age, without that much experience, that'd be a massive talking point for his career, for future jobs and shit like that as well. So I have a feeling that we might be surprised and he might just fully go for it. But I hear what you're saying. Could be a chance. FA Cup, that's our cup. He might go for that and rotate inside the Europa League because of the 2 games a week. But Tim, I appreciate you coming on. But I'm going to catch you at the game. Definitely. What game are you at next?
I'm at Villa tomorrow.
Oh, you know what? I can't even do Villa. But are you at the United game?
No, not United.
Right. It looks like it's the next home game after that. But I'm going to catch up with you. People, peace and love. Make sure you're smashing the like button to help push the content out. Subscribe if you're new. You know what to do, people. Go and follow Tim on Instagram, Tim Weeks as well. Proper Arsenal fan and a good character, people. But peace and love, and we'll see you on the next